Good morning, everybody. This is another classic favorite called Hedgehog Bakes a Cake. I got this book a long, long time ago and read it to both of my daughters, and it is one of my favorites. I had to take it out of my library because I love it so much that I want to make sure you get to hear it. And it's about a hedgehog, which is kind of like a porcupine, except it has prickles for for its pokers instead of uh, quills, which is what porcupines have. Prickles don't pop out, but quills can. Hedgehog Bakes a Cake by Marianne McDonald and illustrated by Lynn Munsinger. Hedgehog was hungry for cake. He found a yellow cake recipe. This one sounds easy, he said, and good too. Hedgehog took out the flour. He took out the eggs and the butter. He was taking out the blue mixing bowl when he heard a knock at the door. It was Rabbit. Hello, Rabbit, said Hedgehog. I am making a cake. I will help you, said Rabbit. I am good at making cakes. Here's the recipe, said Hedgehog. Ha! You don't need this recipe, Rabbit said. I will show you what to do. Now, recipes are the instructions on how to do it. So if you ignore the instructions, what do you think is going to happen? Rabbit took the flour. He dumped it into the blue bowl. He took the butter and dumped that in too. Then he dumped in the sugar. Now we will mix it, said Rabbit. Mixing was hard work. Rabbit mixed and mixed. His arm began to hurt. The batter was lumpy. The sugar stuck to the sides of the bowl. There was flour everywhere. I, I think someone is calling me, said Rabbit. You finish the mixing, Hedgehog. I will come back when the cake is ready. Hedgehog shook his head. The cake batter was a mess. What's the matter, Hedgehog? Squirrel was at the door, looking in. I'm making a cake, said Hedgehog, but it does not look very good. Oh, you need eggs, said Squirrel. I will put them in. He cracked some eggs and dropped them in. Some shells fell in too. A little bit of shells does not matter, said Squirrel. Mix it all together. So Hedgehog mixed. The batter was more lumpy, but mixing was easier than before. Owl stuck her head in the door. Bacon, she said. May I help? Hedgehog did not want more help, but he did not want to hurt Owl's feelings. You can butter the pan, said Hedgehog. Owl was happy. She stuck her wing into the butter, then she smeared it around in the pan. Owl turned on the oven with her buttery feathers. She turned it up as high as it would go. The oven must be nice and hot, she said. Whew, we have gotten very messy helping you, said Squirrel. We will go home now and clean up. Put the cake in the oven. We'll come back when it is ready. Squirrel and Owl went home. Hedgehog looked at the kitchen. There was sugar on the floor, there was butter on the oven door, and there was flour on everything. Not the ideal cooking situation, people. Hedgehog dumped the cake batter into the garbage pail. He locked the kitchen door and took out his recipe. First, Hedgehog measured the sugar. He mixed it slowly with the butter. Next, he counted out 3 eggs and cracked them into the bowl. 1, 2, 3. Then he added flour. Oh, he's following the recipe. It'll probably be easier. Hedgehog mixed everything together and poured it into Owl's buttery pan. He turned down the heat and put the batter in the oven. Then he cleaned up the kitchen, which was a giant mess, as we remember. Poor Hedgehog. Knock, knock, knock. Open the door, Hedgehog, called Rabbit. We can smell the cake, and we're getting hungry. Hedgehog unlocked the door. The kitchen was clean. The cake was cooling on a rack, and the table was set for a tea party. The four friends sat down. Hedgehog cut the cake. They each ate one slice. Then they each ate another slice. This is the best cake I ever made, said Rabbit. Uh, aren't you glad I showed you how to do it? The eggs make it very rich, said Squirrel. And you can't taste the shell at all. It's perfect, said Owl. I set the oven just right. Thank you all for your help, said Hedgehog. Next time, I will try to do it all by myself. Hey, guess what? If you want to stop the video right now or pause it, you can look right here, oops, and see the actual recipe that Hedgehog used for his cake. And I know that this recipe works because after I read this with my daughter, we followed this recipe and made a delicious cake. You could do it too. Ask your mom.